Good morning. So I was away for 2 days. My girlfriend and I, we went to this birthday party together with my oldest son and his wife. And good friends of ours had a birthday party. And it was really good. I'm not surprised about this because these friends of ours are very decent people, honest, and they have friends who are decent. And I looked at all these people and I thought, well, I don't see any ridiculous people here. And that's the common denominator for them. They were not ridiculous. The contrary. They were honest, decent, and they had common sense, which was great. And then when I came home, I thought, this is valuable. When people who are not ridiculous meet and talk to each other, this is good for society. Of course it is. And then I thought about the political class. I thought, maybe they don't like it. Maybe this is a threat to them. Because the political class is absolutely ridiculous. And I think they want to just keep being ridiculous. They will not know that they are, but they want to keep their positions. They want to interfere in how people live their lives. They want to be able to present their ridiculous ideas, and keep doing it and getting paid for it, right? So maybe it's a threat to them when, I think it is. It's a threat. They are worried about this. When people who are not ridiculous meet and talk to each other. Right. Maybe even more of a threat than anything else. What do you think? They look at situations like here in Sweden, young girls are scared to be raped, scared to walk outside. I don't think this worries the political class very much. I don't think so. It sort of makes them more important too, doesn't it? They will be asked questions about this. What are you going to do about girls being scared? Oh yeah, I'm going to do this. I want to do this. And I want my salary. Right? Look at me, I'm important. People getting killed in Ukraine. Right? Oh, I don't think this is worrying to the political class. Makes them more important. And they say, we're going to send more money now to Zelensky. Yeah, look at this. But when people who are not ridiculous talk to each other, that's a concern, isn't it? I'm sure it is. Right. I'll give you an example of how ridiculous they can be. This is a politician here in Sweden, a socialist. She's in the Socialist Party. Her name is Sara Kukka-Salam. Pretty high up in this party, okay? Pretty important. And she talked to this newspaper. She talked about integration, which is a situation here in Sweden, which makes her important. And now she can present this very silly idea. They have been talking about this now for some time, the Socialist Party. Anyway, this is what she said, all right? 2 things. The first one was this. We have a housing market where you can settle wherever you want. Okay? But, there's a but here. Choosing your neighbors based on their last name is racism. That's right. So if you want to settle in an area and then you check out the names of the people living there, that's racist. Okay? You shouldn't do it. I know that people do. Right? They look at the names. Who's living here? So you can't do this because that's racist. Right? So now you know. And then she said this. She was talking about friends. Who are your friends? And she said, if every fifth friend is not born in another country, I would say that you are not contributing to an integrated Sweden. Everyone has a responsibility. If you want to see integration, you must also be a part of it. Now, this is, of course, absolutely ridiculous, right? I think the most ridiculous part of it is that she's now getting into talking about friends. Who are your friends? And she wants to do something about who is your friend, right? She's sitting there on her fat ass on some chair somewhere, believing that she's got something to do with it, that she can say something about it, maybe do something about it, you know. Who is my friend? See how ridiculous this is? It's unbelievably ridiculous, isn't it? And she just wants to keep being ridiculous and get paid for it. Right. Now, friendships, that's based on something very different than what the politician would say. Wouldn't you say? You meet somebody and you like that person. It doesn't matter what the person is, really. If you like him and he becomes or she becomes your friend, that's a very personal choice. Do you have to explain this to this lady? Right? It's nothing to do with her. I wonder if there are any people who looks at this interview, reads what this lady, this idiot lady is saying, and they say, oh, she's right, of course. I'm responsible for integration. It's not the politicians, who open the borders to Sweden. They are not responsible. We are, of course, we are. And then they look at their list of friends and they say, and they are shocked. And, a lady, a couple, they're sitting there talking to each other. And the lady said, you know what? I looked at our friends and there's no Eskimo here. We have to do something about it. How can we meet some Eskimos and become friends with them? What do you think? There are people who will react like this? I want to be a good person. I'm looking at my list of friends now. And then they go out to some danger zone here in Stockholm or something, and try to make friends. Because there is no Hassan on their friends list. Maybe. All right. So I recommend this. Meet people who are decent. Find people who are not ridiculous. Talk to them. And meet them. Strongly recommended. All right. Be good.